the whole of James is a very interesting book. It's telling you about the works there. Which means as you look at that book of James, he speaks about the perfect law of liberty. And he says the reason why I'm telling you all these things, that listen, don't get angry. That if we don't deal, the first thing God wants to deal with in your life is anger. He says you have to be able to manage your emotions. Look, David lost it. He couldn't build the temple because of things he did in anger. Moses could not get into the promised land because of the anger problem. He says we have to deal with it. If we don't deal with this anger problem, it will destroy many things. You can even use anger to destroy clients. You're now believing God, where are my clients? Where are the clients? But he gave you a strategic person. And that strategic person was the woman by the well. But unfortunately, she had 5 husbands. And you came and said in your own judgmental attitude, I can't. 5 husbands? 5? She's on the 6th? What is this? And then somebody that doesn't have any connection there with the prophetic destiny, but has only had one boyfriend there in their life. He said, that's the one we are taking. Meanwhile, you have judged the one with 5 husbands. And God wants to teach you a lesson in all your moral superiority. He says, oh yeah, open the Bible. He says, can you see Rahab the harlot? I use harlot to open up. You can be angry. It's Rahab the harlot. He says, I chose her to you. Then you say, oh, no. 5 this. So God says, look, there's a lot you need to learn. And there's a lot of maturity. And look, let me tell you this. The worst thing that can happen to you is to get blessed and not have character to handle it. You will regret it. You can end up in jail. I hope you know that's what he was saying. That you see a man with gay clothing, you say, go and sit here. He says he takes you to court. Takes you to court. All right? I mean, it's just like a pastor that is coming. You don't have character. Somebody comes in who is very wealthy. And you see that he packed a Maybach. And then they said first timers. And you realize that he didn't get up. So you quickly go. You, pastor, you go behind. Greet him at the car. Here, this is your first time here? Yeah. How are you? Welcome. I hope you like it. He comes again. Before you know what's happening, he gave $100,000. Next appointment for deacon, you add this thing. Now, nobody knows this. You and him doing this. So then he sees your church is now an investment club. 100,000. I didn't go through anything. They just made me deacon. Okay. He gives $1 million. You now announce elders council. His name is not there. How? Okay. The land I gave, go and bring it. Then your lawyers that don't know the history, now get up. We can't agree. You two are saying we can't agree. You know what you did do. You can't agree. Then people now start hearing in church, how can Christians be like this? They don't know you are the one that caused the trouble. How can Christians be like this? Christians, come to church, checking your church to court. You started the matter. That's why let me close and tell you this. Any matter, they say you have to hear both sides. Listen, you have to hear one side, you have to hear the second side, then you have to hear the truth. Because both sides may not tell you the truth. They are hiding what caused the problem. And let me just close with this story. It's just coming to me to tell this story. All right? Take your time. You will get there. Do you understand what I'm saying? What this thing is saying is that if you hold that confession, you will get there. It's just that there are some things God wants to correct. You will get there. Listen, that's what he's telling you. In fact, he will do exceeding abundantly, but he says there's some things. Because you can be blessed. Look, I was telling them in Canada, one day, we were going. It was just before the governorship debate, the night before. We were going to have a strategic meeting in Marriott Hotel. There was serious hold-up. I got out of the car to check what the hold-up was. There was a gentleman there that just came and said, Pastor from his car, how are you, Pastor? What you love that? And I realized that, it was greeting me. He said, they know me. You know, you can be carried, they know me. I'm a star. Do you know, he just brought out quietly. I just noticed, he brought out his phone and turned it. He wanted to start recording me. So you may, can you imagine? I just noticed that, he wants to record me. He'll go on Instagram. You don't know what he'll go and say about it. I just quickly ran inside my car. Are you following? You know, I was hearing one woman on television. She said, I'm just trying to tell you why God, character development. Because sometimes even you are too meek to be blessed. When I say meek, you are too gentle. See, she said they went for a party. They just started calling her husband's name, the music person. because her husband had money. Calling his name. That's how she does us eating. She's a reserved person. Next thing, she does have some women. Said eyelashes, everything. They just surrounded the husband. They were dancing. Said she left the food quickly. Went to meet the musician. Whispered. Is this, call him, you know how they say it, husband of so and so. Her name, Oko, something. Call him. So the now said, Oko said, she said that's like she was punching the woman. Listen, what you'll be telling yourself, if you are not psychologically ready, what type of wala is this? All right? If the husband doesn't have money, nobody will call him now. Both of you will be eating in peace and be sharing at the wedding. Look at this clock. Now, money comes. They are now calling husband. And those women know that anybody they are calling has money. So like bees, they just surrounded. Poor, small, and she's very petite. She had to get up. Are you following what I'm saying here? So God knows what is coming. Says, let us train you properly so that when wahala starts, you have the capacity, your presence, people will say, okay, you're just your presence.